Louise Bedford here, the host of the Talking Trading podcast. This is where traders break free from what's holding them back, whether it happens to be your trading system, your mindset, or the habits that keep your results slipping away. Today, I want to bring you something a little bit different. It's not a new chart pattern, a new setup, or a technical tweak, or even an interview. It's something more foundational than that. It's about why, despite all of your effort, you might still be stuck. You might have a solid trading system. You might know your rules, and you've probably invested time, energy, and money into learning how to trade, but still, the results aren't quite where you want them to be. You find yourself second guessing every trade, or you freeze when a setup appears because the fear of loss feels overwhelming. Maybe you follow your system only to break your rules at the worst moments. Or perhaps your focus drifts in the middle of the trade and you skip your pyramid points. And as a result, you have the amount of money you could have made from the trade. You struggle to keep consistent, and it's most often due to friction in at least one part of your trading process, that invisible sandpaper that grinds and stops you from reaching your goals. And in this episode, we're going to get to the bottom of what your friction is and work out a plan so that you know exactly what you can do about it. Maybe you're frustrated with patchy profits, or you're feeling burnt out from the emotional roller coaster that trading can be. Or you keep tweaking your strategy, hoping for a quick fix, but it never sticks. Or maybe you're doing well, but deep down, you know you're capable of more. That gnawing, persistent voice that whispers, you could be more, do more, have more. And it just won't leave you alone. If that's you, then what I'm about to share could be a game changer. And if there's someone in your life who's struggling to gain traction in the markets, share this episode with them. Sometimes all it takes is one insight, one moment of clarity to change the entire trajectory of someone's trading life. You may never fully realize the ripple effects you create, but by pointing them to this episode of Talking Trading, you could be the spark that helps them break free from whatever is holding them back. Okay, now let me tell you about a fascinating researcher at NYU, and his name was Adam Alter. He was a professor of psychology and marketing, and his work focuses on what keeps people stuck and how they finally break through their barriers. In his book, Anatomy of a Breakthrough, Adam introduces a framework that I think every trader should know. It's called Heart, Head, and Habit. When I read it, it stopped me in my tracks, and let me break it down for you. Heart is your emotional friction. In trading, this shows up as fear, hesitation, self-doubt, or even overconfidence. It's that mental noise that causes you to override your system or not pull the trigger when you should. Head is your cognitive friction. That's your trading strategy itself, your rules, your entry and exit logic, and your position sizing approach. If you're not crystal clear on what to do, or you don't believe in your system, you're going to second guess yourself time and time again. Number 3 is habit, and this is your behavioral friction. This includes your physical environment, your routines, and how you maintain your performance over time. Are you disciplined? Are you journaling? Are you giving yourself the space to perform like a professional? Your own personal friction is going to be in one of these 3 areas. And often your first impulse to self-diagnose, it's correct. So if you first think it could be your heart, you're probably right, or your head, or your habits. Once you've got your answer, you'll unlock a hidden key. In fact, you are your own cage and you're your own key as well. So it's time to fix this once and for all. Sometimes, even though you can detect what the problem is, you need someone who is a mentor to help you work through what to do as the next step. Let me tell you about Helen. She was a trader who felt stuck for years. No matter how much she learned or how tightly she followed her system, she couldn't break past a certain level of earnings. It wasn't her strategy, her head was solid. It wasn't her routines, her habits were disciplined. The real block was her heart. Deep-seated money beliefs that she'd carried with her since childhood. Fear and doubt around success held her back. But when we worked through those emotional scripts and cleared that friction, everything changed. Within 2 years, Helen left her day job, became a full-time trader, and hasn't looked back since. That's the power of identifying what's really holding you back and fixing it at the right level. So these 3 areas, head, heart, and habit, are the core reasons why traders don't get the results they want. And the truth is, it's usually not all 3. Most of the time, there is just one big fat bottleneck. Let's have a look at Gary. Gary was trading really well with 2 out of his 3 systems, and they were working beautifully. But that one dog of a system was creating friction, and it was dragging down his overall results. It was like having a flat tire on an otherwise smooth ride. And once we identified that problem system and addressed it, everything changed. His results turned around completely, and in just 6 months, he made 55R compared to the roughly 4R he'd been making in the previous 6 months. Now, for those that aren't familiar, R is the way traders measure their returns relative to the risk that they take on each trade. So making 55R means that Gary earned 55 times what he risked per trade, which was an incredible jump from where he was before. Now, let me tell you about one of my favourite examples from Adam Alter's work. This is from a shopping centre in the US. Retailers there were noticing a huge, consistent problem. Shoppers, mainly parents, were filling their trolleys and then abandoning the trolley. Not just a few, but hundreds of dollars worth of goods left behind repeatedly, day after day. At first, they thought it was poor customer service or maybe layout issues, but they dug deeper and here's what they found. Parents weren't abandoning their carts because they didn't want the products. They were leaving them behind because their kids were having tantrums. They couldn't finish shopping because their children were melting down in the middle of the store. So this wasn't a head issue. Those shoppers wanted the goods, and it wasn't even a habit issue. They came to the shop with a full list to complete, but it was a heart issue. Emotional friction. Parents were overwhelmed, frazzled, and needing to escape that chaos. So what was the solution for those US shopping centres? They installed jungle gyms and play areas inside the shopping centre. The kids had a safe and fun space to burn off energy, and parents could shop in peace. The abandoned trolley problem vanished almost overnight, and the stores recouped hundreds of thousands of dollars in previously lost sales. It was a simple tweak that targeted the real friction point, not the symptom, the cause. And you might know now, if you go to any of the major shopping centres, they do have those play centres, those jungle gyms in the middle of the shopping centre because of this research. And it made me think, how many traders are doing exactly the same thing, getting so close to the finish line and then abandoning their strategy, their routines, their goals because of some invisible friction that they haven't named, let alone addressed. That's why I think every trader should conduct a friction audit. Not just looking at your trading results, but asking, is my heart in the right place? Am I emotionally equipped to handle the realities of trading? Is my head clear? Do I have a system that I trust and understand inside and out? Are my habits setting me up for success, or are they slowly pulling me off course? Because here's what I've found after decades of mentoring traders. It's usually not more knowledge that traders need. It's clarity. It's someone shining a light onto the blind spots that they've stopped noticing. So if this is resonating with you, and if you're ready to get unstuck, here's how I can help. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm opening up space to chat with a small group of traders. These are free 30-minute mentoring calls, one-on-one, just you and me. Before we speak, I'll ask you to complete a short survey, and that's enlightening in itself, and it will help us pinpoint which area, your head, your heart, or your habits, are holding you back the most. Then we'll hop on a quick call together. You and me will have a chat, and I'll identify exactly what is going on for you. It is that important. This isn't something that I've ever done before. It's not something that I have ever offered as a service, but that is how seriously I feel about this in terms of what it can do for your particular trading. We'll hop on a call. I'll help you see what's really going on, and then we'll talk about how you can move forward with clarity and confidence. Are you keen? Because these are going to book up really quickly. To book in, go to this page. I hope you're going to write this down: survey.tradinggame.com.au. And you'll fill in the survey, and then we can schedule a call. Or just check the link in the show notes for this episode on talkingtrading.com.au. So I'm going to give you that web link again: survey.tradinggame.com.au. Let's make this the moment that things finally shift for you. And just to finish off for today, I'd like to thank Jenny for her lovely Google review. Now, Jenny says, I first heard of Louise and Chris in around 2004 when I originally dabbled in trading. Oh, I wish I'd signed up for their mentor program back then instead of spending years not quite knowing how to get into trading properly without losing money again. Oh gosh, I know. Sometimes we regret the moves that we didn't make. And I'm so glad you finally got involved with our mentor program, Jenny. Now you've got my support and you can repeat the course as many times as you like. So don't let Jenny's situation mirror your own. Let's book a call together. Go to survey.tradinggame.com.au and we can have a chat. And until the very next episode, happy trading.